Hi there, in this video I'll be breaking down the short clip that we just watched. I'll be showing you exactly what layers I use, what sounds I use to create it, processing and all that good stuff. So with that said, let's get right into our session and get going. All right, so here we are inside of Reaper, and one of the goals that I had with this redesign was to see if I could use some of the sounds that I've been designing for an upcoming project, see if they would actually fit inside of a trailer setting, a game setting, and see if I could actually make use of it and they actually would work in an actual context. So with that said, that was kind of my goal with this, is using just my own sounds. I don't have third-party sounds or anything like that in this one, I don't think. So let's see how I created it. Actually, let's start at the beginning here. I'm going to play the actual sounds from the trailer. This is from the Star Wars Outlaws trailer. So let's have a listen. It's a really short clip here.
I've been held back my whole...
Right, so I just really want to work on that vehicle sound, especially as it's coming around the corner and it's zooming by. So let's have a look and listen to what I did here. So this is where I started here. I started with this first layer down here. So let's have a listen here. Right, so this is really just for when the vehicle here is just flying by right in front of the camera. That's where I wanted to start. I think the biggest difference between my redesign and the original game sound is that the original has a lot more tone, like a lot more tonality to it. I think I could probably, if I was going to redo it, I'd probably aim to do that as well. But let's see what I did here. So I'm going to take off, soothe here. I'm going to take off each of these effects there that I have so we can have a listen to what each sound sounds like here and how I process them. So this is the first sound, the first layer. Right, so it's just a sci-fi flyby, very basic. Obviously, one of the key characteristics of like these sci-fi sounds, especially in Star Wars here, is that you have some sort of tremolo. And my go-to tremolo for creating these kind of vehicle sci-fi effects is M Tremolo here by Mellow Production. It's absolutely free. I'll have a link in the description if you want to grab it. But yeah, these are the settings that I use here. And with it on now, it sounds like this. So as you can hear, I'm really modulating the rate here so that as the vehicle kind of speeds up and gets closer to us, it feels like you get that kind of Doppler effect or also that like speeding up effect. One of the other things that you'll notice here that I did here is I changed the panning. So if I take this off, the reason I did that, by the way, is because you can see that my flyby sound effect in the original file, it goes from, I think it's left to right. So if I play it here. Yeah, it goes from left to right, but right here we have a camera angle change right from there to there, where suddenly the main characters and the vehicle is right in front of us. So I didn't want the sound of the vehicle to be on the left anymore, so that's why I included this pin here so that it's more in the center, so it sounds coming out of the center. And I did the same thing for this one right down here. All right, so let's have a listen to this second one here. This one has no processing, so I just kind of left it as is. All right, so together. That's what they sound like. After that, it's just a matter of adding some processing on the bus. I really want to add a bit of distortion and grittiness to it. So that's what I'm doing here with the Kilohertz Shaper. Added a limiter to make sure I don't peak. And then after that, I added track spacer, and this is making space for this other whoosh here that I have for when the vehicle is like going right in front of the camera right here. So as it's whooshing by, I wanted to have some other effect going in. So that's what that is doing there. So I'm kind of ducking this sound right here. I'm ducking this sound that we just listened to so that it makes room for this one. So with that said, why don't we have a listen to this one right here so we see what it is doing. So this is a whoosh I created using NVK Create. I think I had it just on a separate file or a separate project. But anyways, I dragged it in here and I just added some effects to it. So here we have the first one. Right, a Doppler effect. Another sci-fi whoosh. Another really quick one there. Right, so for this one, it's kind of a little bit too distorted. I probably could hold back on some of the distortion here, but here I did a similar thing where I did Kilohertz Shaper, and I even put more on top of it here on the group bus, so it's affecting everything a lot. So if I take it off, it's also really peaking, which is why I have my limiter here. And with this on. So it's really, really kind of distorted and gritty, which I was kind of hoping for. I could probably hold it back a little bit, maybe bring it down a bit, especially as it's like coming right in front of the camera. Everything's kind of in your face. The vehicle is really flying in your face. I really wanted to bring that out. So now together with this, we have this. Let's have a listen here. Right, it's a bit subtle, but it just adds this extra sound and movement as the vehicle flies in front of the camera. All right, after that, we have our second layer here, and this is for when the camera angle changes from in the corner over here to more in the center here. So if I have a listen. All right, so let's have a listen to the different sounds I have. You'll notice here as well, I don't have any bus processing on this one. So these are all just as is. So here we go. And if I'm not mistaken, these sounds I took from my first layer because I wanted to keep going with the same kind of sound quality that I had, the same sound that I had going. I didn't want to go too far off. So that's what was doing here. Then I had this one. Right, so the same sound file, I'm just kind of cutting in and out at different spots to kind of bring out the volume based on how the camera changes. Next, we have this one. This one's kind of useless, but I kind of kept it in there. I was trying to see if I can make a loop out of it and make it work. But anyways, this is the one that really makes it sound like there's like rattling metal or something like that. So this one's really adding a lot of character to that sound. So all together with these now. Right, that's how it is. And then the last part of the sound here for the vehicle is I wanted to have some sort of acceleration, and for that I created or I put on here some risers. So they're pretty subtle, and they kind of start at the beginning a bit early with this one here. And if I take everything off, this is what it sounds like. Right, so it's very airy, a lot of air and high frequency information in there. And the way that I kind of toned it down quite a lot is by using M ratio MB here, just noise tonal. I love putting the ratio up, and then it just gets rid of all the air and noise in a sound, and you just get a lot of that tone. So that's how I did that. So, and then it's just a matter of adding recenter, right? So I like that. After that, it's just a matter of adding a bit more. So that's what I did with this one. So if I take everything off here, it's just another variation of the same riser, but yeah. So I did a bit of different processing here. So I did some low cut, same thing here, M ratio MB, and then a bit of distortion here. Right, so together with our second layer here for when the camera angle changes, we get this. Right, it's pretty subtle, but I think it helps to bring out the change in speed there. All right, after that, I think I had one sound here that was kind of random. I think I used this to change to help with the camera change. So as soon as it hits here, you get a camera angle change. And I did a similar thing down here with this sound effect here with right, so I get as the camera angle changes, I just put in like a whoosh or some sort of different sound to like help connect the two different angles together. Right, so they're very subtle. You don't really hear them, but they're there, and they just kind of help connect everything together. All right, finally, we had a few explosions here. I didn't focus too much time on creating these explosions. I actually dragged these. These are from my explosion sound pack. Right, so I don't think I did too much processing on these, if any. So for this one, I did a bit of recenter just to position it where I want it to go. So a bit on the right here, a bit of spectra to bring out the highs. Right, a similar thing with this one. Right, and then after that, it's just a matter of adding these whooshes that I have here just to emphasize the initial transient, the initial impact of the explosions here. So all together, it sounds like this. Right, and these sounds here, I also duplicated them and brought them down here, and I use them as the laser shots for the guns at the beginning here, the laser shots. Right, so just to have that kind of sound carry through with the rest of the design. And I think that those are all the layers. All right, so I hope you found that useful and valuable, and just seeing kind of the layers that I used, how I use them, layered them, processed them, and all that stuff. So, like I said, a lot of these sounds I was creating for my upcoming sound pack, which is probably going to be out in the next couple of weeks. And yeah, like I said, I was just challenging myself to see if I could put them into an actual redesign and get them to fit in there. So hopefully that inspires you to do the same with your work. If you have any comments, questions, leave it down below. And just a reminder to grab the Sound Designer Starter Pack. I'll have a link in the description below. And I think that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching all the way through to the end. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.